Are you listening?
Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Bryant, and for today's show, let's talk about Google Stadia, who received some very interesting news this morning, as the folks over at Sensor Tower have revealed that Google Stadia's mobile app has officially surpassed 3 million downloads, with the Stadia app garnering 3.2 million downloads in 18 months. Now, this number signifies triple the amount of downloads that the service was at last year in early 2020, when Sensor Tower revealed that Stadia had hit 1 million downloads. Now, PocketGamer.biz actually broke down these numbers, and there's some really interesting data here. In fact, 50% of Google Stadia's downloads have been in the United States, totaling 1.6 million downloads. The United Kingdom came in second with 380,000 downloads, or 12% of total downloads, and Germany came in third with 262,000, or nearly 8% of total downloads. And in case you're wondering how does the Android versus iOS numbers look like, well, Pocket Gamer continued to report that nearly 73% of all installs came from Google Play, and 27% of installs came from the Apple App Store. Now, obviously, 3 million isn't PlayStation 5 numbers. You know, they sold like 8 million PS5s in 6 months, but it is a good sign nonetheless, because Stadia is garnering continued interest from gamers. And it's probably worth noting that these Google Stadia app numbers don't necessarily give us a complete look at the entire player base, as anyone using Google Stadia through a Chrome browser doesn't really need to install the Stadia app. These numbers solely reflect Stadia players playing on phones, tablets, or Chromecast Ultras. Now, PocketGamer.biz's Matthew Ford did make an interesting point here. Stadia's best month for downloads was December of 2020, when they received nearly 500,000 downloads. And if we were to go back in time and try to figure out what the hell happened in December, well, that was actually the arrival of Cyberpunk 2077, which, if you remember, failed to live up to expectation on PlayStation and Xbox, so a flood of new players rushed to try out Google Stadia for the first time just to play Cyberpunk. Also during this period, Stadia had their free Chromecast promotion, new countries were announced for the platform, the iOS web app was revealed, and Ubisoft Plus arrived on Stadia for players in the United States. And I'm sure Stadia knows exactly what caused this peak, but going off my own analytics here on the Nerf Report, we had a huge spike in subscribers and views during the Cyberpunk story, and people were trying to find out, what Google Stadia is. So I think it's extremely fair to say that the Cyberpunk story kind of was responsible for Stadia's growth in the month of December. And it's also interesting because if one game brought almost 500,000 players to the platform, the comments from Phil Harrison following the closure of Stadia Games and Entertainment's production house makes so much more sense. In that blog post, Phil Harrison wrote, "In 2021, we're expanding our efforts to help game developers and publishers take advantage of our platform technology and deliver games directly to their players. We see an important opportunity to work with partners seeking a gaming solution all built on Stadia's advanced technical infrastructure and platform tools. We believe that this is the best path to building Stadia into a long-term, sustainable business that helps grow the industry." Like, essentially, Phil saw all the success that Cyberpunk had on interest and installs and said, let's hold off on making our own video games and just focus all of our resources on bringing every game possible to the platform. But I'm interested to hear what you all have to think. What do you think about this story? Are you impressed by the download report from Sensor Tower? Where do you think that Stadia needs to be 1 year from now? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hey, thanks again for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw and you want to see more content just like it, which who wouldn't, hit the subscribe button right there. And while you're down there, hit the like button. Maybe even consider becoming a Nerf Report best friend, just like the people listed down below did. In fact, don't you want to see your name there? I know I do.